Good morning and welcome to the 8:15 Daily Operations Weather Brief. We currently have overcast and rainy conditions with some increasing gusts of about 20 knots here on the base this morning, with temperatures expected to remain rather stable throughout the day, wavering around the 60-degree mark. And winds are currently blowing with a more easterly component and expected to undergo a shift to a more northwesterly heading later this afternoon as the associated low pressure system moves through. And looking at the broader weather pattern here, we can see the low pressure system we've been monitoring over the past few days has now arrived into our area, and this system is expected to continue generating rainy and windy conditions throughout the forecast period as it tracks just south of our location before moving offshore and pulling along a trailing cold front that will then pass just south of our area overnight. Now moving on to our current observations, we are sitting under an overcast layer of clouds at 6,000 feet with visibility sitting just over 2.5 statute miles, and winds are currently observed out of the east at roughly 11 knots, gusting to around 20. And for the temperature, 57 degrees is the mark, and relative humidity is progressively climbing into the 90-degree range. Which leads us to our satellite imagery. We can see that overcast cloud layer cover becoming much more apparent, with some incoming convection being observed over central Virginia and making its way to our direction, and that will bring anticipated elevated precip rates and the chance of a rumble of thunder come this afternoon. Taking a look at the HRRR this morning, it paints a reasonably good picture of persistent rainfall for the middle part of the day before tapering off in intensity and then moving offshore. But with that being said, we could still see some later precipitation as displayed towards the end of this loop here, in which a chance of a second round of showers or thunderstorms does present itself. And taking a look at our 24-hour risk chart here, we can see some reds on the board for early morning precip, as that has already begun, and the chance of thunder this morning and midday, as well as a high likelihood of a wind advisory as winds begin gusting above that 25-knot mark. Moving throughout the day towards the end of the period, our precip chances do taper off a little bit. However, when that begins to happen, we can anticipate some low cloud cover dropping down, in which we might go below that 500-foot and 1 mile of visibility threshold. Taking a look at the TAF, it also paints the picture of lowering cloud decks throughout the day, with rain tapering off and slight chances of thunderstorms before the final reprieve come tomorrow morning. And on to the short-term weather board. Thursday, we can expect partly to mostly cloudy conditions with a chance of an isolated thunderstorm in the afternoon or evening hours and a high of 72. Thursday night, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy with a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm and a low of 59. And Friday, mostly cloudy, turning partly cloudy in the afternoon towards evening hours with a high of 70. And that is going to conclude our 8:15 weather brief. I will be back at 10 o'clock with the 7-day forecast.